You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean. You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean.
Victorious 89.1 WAKP. Your unity in the community station.
Well, welcome to Reasoning Thursdays, each and every Thursdays, right here on DAPowerhouseradio.com. That's DAPowerhouseradio.com. With yours truly, Lady D, alongside Mama Acid, Queen, and Darespecta. Put some respect on it. What we say? That we say? Yes, that we say. Yes, it's all about Reasoning Thursday, each and every Thursdays from 8 p.m. Why? That's a lady, stop telling lie. Every time when I talk about this 8 p.m., I last start 8 p.m. Stop lie. That's what people gonna start saying. Stop telling lie. Every time you say it's gonna be 8 p.m., it's not 8 p.m. It's 8:10, 8:12. All these different times.
Maybe we need to put it for 8:15.
I did. I did. Then it's gonna come out 8:30. Man, we want to say greetings to everyone. Greetings. If you receive the link, please share it on your Facebook, your Instagram. If you have a YouTube page, share it there as well. Yeah, share it. Share is a good thing, a good thing when you share things. It's a nice thing. Yeah, so definitely share. Also, we ask you to, you know, hit that like button. Yeah, hit that like button for us. All right. Hit that like button for us. We need all the likes. We need all the likes. Yes. And once again, please share the link. Share the link. I don't know if you got Mama Acid Telegraph. Mama Acid Telegraph told us what the show was going to be all about. So I'm hoping that you did receive Mama Acid Telegraph. Our topics today, no justice. Our reasoning topics is no justice, no peace on police brutality. And is racism a mental health disorder? Yeah, we want to know. We definitely want to know. And in the mix, Babsy Grange and Jamaica political bingo. Those are in your news. And let me tell you, the top one of our top ones is seeing aliens. We're going to touch that at the end of the program. Then we're going to open up the telephone lines. We're going to open up the telephone lines at that time when we're on our last topic of seeing aliens. Yeah. So we definitely want your inputs on that. Let me give you the number from now. So you jot it down. So when you're ready, you can definitely call in when the lines are open. It's 706-955-2001. That's 706-955-2001. And it's on the scroll. It's scrolling down at the bottom of your screen for those who are logged in via our YouTube or Facebook, stuff like that. Yeah? Yeah. So share the link, and we'll let y'all know when the lines are open. Okay. And to all our Facebook listeners, I want to say big up and massive shout outs go out to you. YouTube, I want to say big ups and shout out. Share, man. Share, man. Don't be selfish. Don't keep it to yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like a bad man, keep it to you. No, don't keep it to yourself. Don't keep this program to yourself. Spread it. We also invite you to go over to our YouTube channel, like, subscribe, and get notified. Hit that notification button so that you can get notified when we are on. Okay? Yeah, when we are on, definitely. So, and any of our talk programs right here on the Powerhouse Radio. Waiting for Mama Acid to log in. I'm hoping she's not calling in my back turn to the screen. Yeah, she's having telephone difficulties. Telephone love is not no love is ain't no love between them tonight. Yeah. All right. So, man, we're gonna get into it. I'm gonna let the other hosts on the program to big you all up. and say, give you greetings and salutation and all these things. So, Queen, what you want to say to the listeners?
Hey, hey everyone. Welcome back to another show. I hope that it's exciting as the previous ones and that you are gaining some knowledge from what the things that we discuss. And remember, everyone have their own opinion, so don't take it all in and say, okay, I'm gonna run with it. You do your research and see what is right, and if you research you'll find out what you need to know, the information you need to know. So enjoy the show, and thanks for tuning in, and remember, press that like button and share.
Yes, yes. The respecter, you want to say hello to your listening audience?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you enjoy this program as always. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You won't regret it.
All right, bless up. Mama Acid is having some telephone and computer issues and all sort of issues going on over there where she's at. So we're waiting for her to log in as well to give her big shouts. But in the meantime, we're just gonna go on and the show must go on. And we've been trying to have this situation fixed for a little bit. So we're just gonna start and go on into the programming. So, as we stated, the the reasoning topics of today is ooh, the reasoning topics
You
of
want to start with no
today
peace, no
is
justice?
no justice, no peace.
Yeah,
Political
you want to
clarity. We're going to be talking about BABSY Grange and Jamaica political bingo. That
mm,
was, and it was Mama Acid's favorite lady. So
yes.
he wanted to elaborate on that. And is racism a mental health disorder? Is it? And
Mm,
seeing aliens. Yeah, we're gonna see aliens. And at the end of the program, we're definitely going to open the telephone lines so that you all be able to call in and reason with us on what we're reasoning about. Okay, and give us your feedback as to what you all are thinking about what we are thinking and about what we are saying. Yeah, because that's some serious business, you know. Serious thing, serious thing. So, Queen, the respecter,
hey.
you said you want to start on no justice, no peace.
Yes, we could start on that because that also entails that young man that was slapped by the police officer, and the other one that was um brutally run over, and no one wants to admit what happened. So in Spanish Town. So there's a lot of police violence going on, and it's just because they feel that they're above the law, and nothing is being done to hold them accountable. So they commit these crimes, thinking that they're gonna get away with it, and most of the time they do get away with it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
That's the sad part about it.
and I'm wondering if anything's really, really gonna come about this. You know, I know that
Well,
sometimes in the beginning there's
mm,
a lot of hype and a lot of
yeah.
noise about a topic, but then
Well, this one, because people's been calling out and crying out because it hurt a lot of mothers seeing that happening. So they started crying out, not just from diaspora, but also the Jamaican citizens. And because they started crying out, Golden had to step up plate. And he had a news conference about 2 or 3 days ago. He had a news conference, and he outlined several things that was happening, and he did call upon the PMP government, the JLP government, to step up and handle this business. Like he said, the prime minister is on you. These are your workers, and you should be able to control them. So he's asking for the commissioner, he's asking for all the agencies to step in. And from what I heard, last thing I heard, they were stepping because Buchanan. You have Buchanan as the lawyer. He took on the case pro bono. He's not being paid, but it's because of the human rights violation. He's
Uh-huh.
stepping up and he's stepping in and he's gonna furnish. You tell him, don't worry, you'll pay for everything. So the case is on, and like I said, from what I heard, they are speeding up the investigation and trying to see what happened, and hopefully these police officer will be um not fired, but get some type of
Be
penalty for what
reprimanded.
they did.
Be reprimanded for something. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Because
yes.
getting away with too much, and it was blatant on the video. What
Mhm.
they done to this young man. So I don't even understand the hesitation in going
Mhm.
forward to do what they to prosecute these police officers, because of the
Mhm.
fact that everything just about was on camera there, and the
Yeah.
rough up boxing in the head, and as they said, he has seizures, and and he's not well, and
Yes.
you're causing more problem. You're hurting this individual, and it's
Mhm.
not a nice thing what you're doing. It's not a nice thing what you've done to this man, and
Mhm.
you ought to pay for it. If it was here in America a long time, that would have gone. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Something would have been done. Those officers would have been arrested, because, or the investigation would have went by now. I don't know what more they investigating. It's on their
Mhm.
own. It's videoed.
Yes, it is. Anyone can see it, and
It's-
the sad part of it is that this is showing you that these officers, they don't respect their commanders, because the commander was the one that held him in his pants, talking to him, and the constable, he went around the commanding officer and slapped the young man. And then I guess the rest of them wasn't thinking. They all rushed in and started to beat him. That, I mean, this is disgraceful.
that's
How
Jamaican. That's Jamaican. Go ahead. Finish it.
Yeah, go on. That's disgraceful, seeing that and knowing that you have children, because this boy was only 20, he had just turned 23, 3 days prior, he turned 23, and it's sad, and it bothered me for a long time. It bothered me just seeing them and having two sons and thinking of someone just palpitating your child like that.
Yeah.
And like you said, lady, he's not even normal. He doesn't have normalcy. He has seizures, and now I heard it's worse now.
But
Because the doctor said it's alleged. The doctor said that his head was shook up, so it's affecting him.
mhm. um, Donna says greetings all, and then
You,
Donna says the police do the same thing here in America as well. They do.
mm-hmm.
There's
Yeah,
nothing above the law.
Floyd. Remember the Floyd case and several other ones. Yeah.
There's nothing above the law in
Mm-hmm.
just about all of these countries, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And what are we going to do? What is really are we going to do? Because they continue to. It's not like they fire these officers, because they don't fire them.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean, they're not firing them. They're not really. Um,
They move them to different departments instead of firing them. Yeah.
Respecter, you want to chime in?
Big up yourself, Donna. Big up Cool G, Juliet, Shit. All of the family members. Sibo. Yes, I definitely want to share my two cents.
Okay.
The police chief throughout this world, commanders, the ones that you're not seeing, they're the one behind the scenes training these officers. giving them the right, the power to be who they be. And then when they get caught on camera, they pretend like they care. They do not care. They're trained. Treat young black boys mainly with disrespect and ignorance. And this is where I say the main man in charge of a country, the president, the prime minister, they can bring these things under control. They can make a huge difference. It's more to being a prime minister, more to being a president than just the economy and war. So they have proven over and over that they really don't care about young people and people in general. But the day will come when a man, a civilian, will fight to the end that they're not going to take a slap from no one. They're not going to take disrespect and ignorance from no one just because they have a gun and a badge. People are going to be fed up pretty soon. They're going to start fight back. People are going to stop standing and watch things happen just because you're a police officer. People are going to stop standing by and watch you choke an innocent person or beat on an innocent person. Civilians are going to start joining in and beat the shit out of some people. Forgive my French. So it's time. It's enough. Enough is enough. And if we don't start make a sacrifice for the next generation, it's going to continue. So the so-called bad man and bad woman, the Dons and Donets, y'all need to show some concern, show some power, defend the people. Because the police are not going to stop until somebody make a change unexpectedly.
And I think that's one of the problem, the respecter, is that we're looking for somebody. And I think it has to be a collective matter, because when that one person is the one that's in the forefront and they don't have a group of people that's really, really going to ride and die and back them up, they fear for they start to fear for their lives. So I think that's why at this time we don't really have a leader. Black people don't have I haven't heard or necessarily seen of a leader since, necessarily Martin Luther King. You do have Al Sharpton and you have Jesse Jackson, whom was trying to carry somewhat of a mantle, in the struggles. But for the younger generation, maybe I'm missing something, and I don't know if that's what Dr. Umar is trying to do in his own way, is to be a spokesperson for the
Mainly young
melanated
black
skin
girls.
people.
Lately, I've been hearing some really, really articulate young people. I watch the Andre Stevens show quite a bit,
Hold
and
on, hold
I've been
on.
hearing some really, really talented young people on that show. I mean, verbally, they could hold a conversation. I mean, these and they're not too young. They're in their 20s, late 20s and 30. So there is a few out there, and I'm hoping that the ones that are out there, people will merge together and come together and support them and build them up so that later on they can take over. Because right now, who is there? They're old fogies, and they've been there, the same policies, the same politics for years and years and years. We need fresh voices. We need young people to get involved and start making a difference. And I do see some out there. So I'm praying on it that they will be developed enough in the next couple of years so they can change some of what is going on in Jamaica and change some of the policies, not just Jamaica, but here in America also and overseas. Because I do hear this ambassador young man from England representing black and and civil rights, responsibilities of the people who govern these countries.
All right, we have some comments. Donna says, a lot of the real incidents do not make news. And she also says, big up yourself, Respecter, when you hailed her up, Respecter. And then Donna also says, exactly, their duties as leaders are much more than just the economy and war.
Yes,
As
yes.
the response. And Sharon says, if it was in America, it would have gone viral, and the people would have took to the streets. But the people are afraid of retaliation, and that's exactly it. And I addressed that same statement last
What about, yeah.
week, Sharon, is that the Jamaican people them are afraid to, and a lot of these third world countries, their
Mhm.
citizens there are afraid because death is so easily happening. It's not that it can happen everywhere and anywhere, but in Jamaica it happens there. There's no one that is being accountable for it happening.
Mhm.
It's so rampant in Jamaica that the citizens them is afraid to speak up. They're afraid
But
to go
Lady,
out. They're afraid to go out and march because they don't know if government going come in and they miss and shoot them up. Go ahead, the respecter.
yeah, exactly. The gunman in Jamaica, the areas of Jamaica that people are afraid to go to, where saying all the gunmen are the bad men. And some of they came forth together to okay and try to peace away first and see if they can get in the face of government without violence and try to make a change on benefit of the young people mainly. Mommy and daddy is old and can do for themselves like they want to. I mean, there's a lot of people in Jamaica who walk the streets and, them cuss and carry on. Bad man and body man. So why when it's needed, really needed, they're afraid.
Yeah. I'm
They're
on.
afraid of government. They're not afraid of their friends and families and just strangers. But they're afraid of government. They have a badge and a gun. They're afraid. They're terrified. Why?
There's no real policing, so
Mm.
so they are afraid. That's why there's no real policing. I hear a lot of static in the back. There's no real policing in Jamaica. And the thing in Jamaica too is that money talk and BS walk.
Yeah,
And
true.
um, I know for a while they were trying to crack down on that behavior, but it's corruption is not going to cease, not even a quarter in Jamaica until pay increase. Until pay increase, you know.
Do
Um,
you think that will make a difference, lady? The increase.
it will help a lot of persons.
Look at these officials that got increased. It's been like 2, 3, almost 3 months now, and there hasn't been much changes.
Because those are officials. We're talking about everyday people. We're talking about citizens of Jamaica. We're talking about citizens of even America. We're talking about citizens of the world. A lot of people deal in a lot of blue collar, and a lot of even white collar people deal in crime because they're trying to subsidize their income. They're trying to make more money, because what they're getting paid is not enough to live off of. So hustling is a way of people being able to pay their bills. You know what I'm saying?
I'm hearing you.
To pay their bills, because if they're getting what they're getting, just imagine what they say, 9,000 something dollars is not even what they're getting paid is not even full $100 American money
Yes.
for
Exactly.
for
The
a
same.
whole week. So there have to be some type of hustling to make ends meet, because you have children, you have school fee, you still have you know, you have
Cab here. You have to pay cab here.
you have to have taxi fare, all of those things. So who can live off of for a whole month? Who can live off of $400? We spend that like that a water.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if that is what they're making, they have to do something else to make up their money. Unless it's a two-person household. If it's not a two-person household, that's why a lot of people in Jamaica too, you know. A lot of I don't know, I'm hearing a lot of ears somewhere. I'm hearing a lot of ears somewhere. Um, but let me try. Yeah, it's gone now. Nice. So when we oh my gosh, I kind of lost my train of thought.
A lot of people, yeah, in a lot of
That's why,
different.
yeah, this is what I was gonna say. That's why a lot in Jamaica, a lot of young people is still living with their parents. You know, they all bungle up still in a the one room mentality. When I went to Jamaica and up in St. Anne's, and when me I see the big people and them part of the little area with the daughter them and the and I'm looking and I'm in amazement. I'm like, look at this. They all bungle up in a one just because the expense is too great for them to really go out there unless they really have someone else. Or they have to try to rent a little room or something like that. It's not even a full apartment. You understand?
Mhm. And that's why the young ladies them
Shame.
are going out there and committing all kind of whoredom and whoredom and all of that, because they need the money to take to the parents sometimes just to pay the bills.
Yeah, but Jamaica, yes, and Jamaica just have to stand up and boycott and try to, even if they don't want to pick,
Yes.
even if they would don't, even if they're afraid to pick it, but boycott. Don't go to work. Medical people, we know that we need you all to go to work because we don't want any you have to go out there and take care of the people who get sick
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
stuff like that. But a lot of these blue collar people need to just lock down certain things, and let them know, say no justice, no peace.
But
We
then shut them down quickly upon the teachers the other day when they were trying to march and shut it down in two
one
two.
one facet of them is not gonna work. They all have to collectively come together and just shut it down. We all a week. We're not talking
Two.
hours. We're talking all a week, 2 weeks. They have to shut it down. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And really make the politicians know. So listen, we're tired of ramping on now. You know,
Yeah.
we
Yes.
tired of ramping. Sharon says they got rid of radical Jamaicans. Exactly. Back in the days, if you hurt an older person, you would have to answer to leaders of the community. And that's
Mhm.
where a lot of persons were saying, Sharon, in regards to the donship in Jamaica, in regards to the dons in the areas, and they kind of getting away from that, but yet the little bit of dons that are left, they're still not necessarily advocating anymore for necessarily the children and the elderly, not even the woman. You know what I mean? They're now sending out orders of hits. It's alleged that they are sending out orders of hits to elderly and to children, So can we, maybe it's safe to say it's not the kind of dance that used to be back in the days
Mm.
that are now,
Yeah.
because there's no control of the areas. And them I drop the dan them left and right.
That a one. Yes.
They're
Yeah.
dropping those dans in those areas left and right. Every time
Mhm.
you turn on your ear, says somebody in a one of them garrisons there. Some dan in a one of them garrisons there is dying. So there's not even no stability in that to say necessarily to bring a change for the the elderly, nor the children and women.
Mhm. Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? There's no time for impact because they're dropping themselves.
Yes. Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, the type of done them then time they are the done them time. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Then everybody want to get to them and get and then you know move on. But
Well, it's up to the people, and like you said, it's up to the people. They have to start standing up. They have to start speaking out, and the ones that are the workers, they have more clout than the normal average Jamaican. They all need to step up the plate and do what they know they need to do in order to make the country better, because that's supposed to be the goal of everybody at this point.
I don't
yeah,
think that's gonna happen.
why you don't
We
think
would
that's
love
gonna
for it.
happen,
We would love for.
Respecter?
We would love for it to happen, but the worst people in Jamaica are the ones who are called middle class. They are
It's
the
called
worst
who?
because they think they're trying to help someone or someone looking for help. They have what this boy and they have what this girl and them. They have no sympathy and no heart for charity. But if they get the opportunity, they will speak God, 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 love, 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 and they don't know the meaning of love and God. We're supposed to be helping each other, and the middle class remains silent. The middle class is not for wholeness living. You can guarantee most middle class people are going to vote for it. And the poor people, everywhere in the world, poor people always is looking up to middle class people and rich people. And those with the money that can help looking down on the poor people, the needy. And that's why I pray every time I pray for God to remove riches from the rich, give to the poor. Because it's more to, if you think about it, Lady D, if you ever listen to Steve Harvey and the rich people speak, they will give you knowledge, but they're not going to give you money. And that's from out of some of their mouth. They will give you the knowledge, but they're not going to put money in your hand to help you put that knowledge into action. And that's all it is throughout this world. So only God Himself needs to get off of His throne and make the necessary changes. It's been going on for too many centuries, and people steadily believing and praying and hoping. Time for Him to show.
But Fletcher, didn't we learn that what you speak sometimes put out in the universe? I know ladies big with that. Um, what you put out in the universe sometimes that's what manifests. Why not just even if it's not gonna happen, let's still keep that positive thinking that it's gonna happen. Let's put it out in the universe and ask everybody else to put it out in the universe that it's gonna be better. And we're gonna work towards making it better. Because it can't be better if we don't work towards it. But if
But
we put that out in the universe, maybe it will change the destiny, that you're predicting.
yeah, I think so.
And I think we have to have faith. You know, I grew
Mm.
up in a Christian home, and I'm big on faith. I've always said faith as small as a mustard seed. You know,
Mhm.
and I keep that faith and we have to not only keep the faith, but we have to try to also be a part of the change
Right.
that we're looking for. You know,
Mhm.
and having these platforms here where we can reason on topics such as this, um, without it being biased or anything like that. I'm hearing here again, without it being biased or anything like that. And we're able to reason as adults, you know, as adults, same way with our own opinions and agreeing to disagree and coming together trying to find this one common ground where we all can come together and say, okay, this is what we're going to use to make the change. But somebody has to start it,
Yeah.
you know, and including ourselves. This these topic has to be something that a lot of platforms need to start addressing. You know what I mean? A lot of platforms need to start addressing and getting the word out when whatever demonstration is going to take place in order to make change, you know, in this world. So once again, we here over here at the Reasoning Thursdays is saying no justice, no peace. So
Mhm.
let's come together on police brutality
Mhm.
that is happening to our brothers and our sisters, and you know, yeah, we need to get radical.
Start writing some letters, like I said before, in the previous discussions. Start writing letters to these people that's supposed to be in power. If we floodgate them with letters and of our disappointment and our anger, then eventually they might do something because it's pressure. Why even Golden is getting up now and standing up and speaking out more. Pressure. You have to put pressure on them. So I think that's what we need to do. Put pressure on these people who supposedly be working for us because they're supposed to be working for us. We pay them.
Protect and serve.
Yeah, they're supposed to be the
Hmm.
key one right there. Supposed to, supposed to be. Yeah. So we're gonna move on to Respecter. You want to drop anything else in there?
Again?
Did you want to drop anything else in there?
No, no, just we just keep hoping that the people will get braver and braver and more courageous and just confront. Yeah, police officers acting a certain way, just remind him, look, you're supposed to protect and serve, repaying your salary. Gotta
Hmm.
stop being afraid of those in the back and that wear uniforms and
Yeah.
go on by there. Yeah, we just keep hoping.
Yeah. Yeah. As well, we just keep each and every keep each other in prayers and all of those things, because
Yeah.
it's definitely needed. Um, don't know what's going on with Mama Acid phone, but I know she's was having to the listeners who are wondering where is Mama Acid. She's been having some phone issues, so she's trying to get it fixed and get back on the line with us. Also, we just want to send out our prayers and stuff to Mama Acid them up and to all of the um, residents of Michigan that is going through this alert. They have a breathing alert. What do you call it? A health alert up there where the skies is full of orange and all of these things. So she was describing a lot of what it's looking like, and we were telling her to make sure she keep those windows closed and don't go outdoors. It's mandatory that they don't go outdoors and all of these things. Yeah. And to the people whom is thinking about going to Mexico to go get some cosmetic procedures,
Mhm.
they have 6 people is now dead from a fungal meningitis outbreak
Mhm.
receiving cosmetics procedures in Mexico, and such as liposuction, breast augmentation in
Mhm.
Mexico. So people wanna just love on yourself.
Yeah.
Just love on yourself for who you are. Tell
Mm.
tell your friends and your friends and your family. Just love themselves for who they are. You know, don't bother with the whole heap of madness and thing where them a deal with. You know what I mean? With all this madness. Don't bother with that. Take care of yourselves. You know what I'm saying? Take care of yourselves, definitely. And cut out all of that
Cosmetic surgeries and
yeah, all of that cosmetic business. We also want to send our condolences go out to the King family, Martin Luther King family. The death of Miss Farris. He's
Mhm.
passing at I think it's 84. He's
96, they said.
96, passing away at Christine King Farris, who
Hmm.
was the sister of Martin Luther King Jr. She died
Yeah,
at 96, and it's going to be something to not see her anymore on the stage during the
ceremonies, yeah.
yeah.
Martin Luther King Day ceremony, yeah.
Yes, her and she was carrying it with Coretta when Coretta passed away. She took it up, Christine King Farris, and so she died at age 95. The King Center did report, and she died peacefully in Atlanta, Georgia, with her family by her side, according to the King Center, of which she was a founding board member. Farris participated in historic events of the civil rights movement, including the 1965 march from Selma to Montgomery, Alabama, and the March Against Fear in Mississippi in 1966. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated in Memphis, and that was her brother. Powerful woman. And,
Hmm.
you know, we just sent our prayers and comfort to the family. All right. On the loss of such an astonishing woman. Yeah. So, man. So moving on. Did you all wanted to add any more in No Justice, No Peace, or we're gonna go on and move on?
Well, that's always a continuation. No justice, no peace.
Yeah,
Because
well that's
we don't get injustice, we're not gonna stop. We're gonna keep going on till we
um
get justice.
well, Mama Acid wanted to touch these next two topics, and we're just gonna briefly touch it because we did not do much research on it. Because she told us this evening here that these were two topics that she was dear
Yeah.
near
They're
to.
babies.
So one is racism and mental health disorder, and it's my thing about it was that I didn't really from last week I don't already state that everything I don't feel is PTSD. Some people is just some people just do them thing. You understand? I just feel that everything is not all about PTSD. Some people is just wicked. Some people is just literally wicked. So there's some story that Mama Acid has sent to us in regards to, and I don't know why I'm unable to pull them up on my phone. I don't know why it's not coming up on my phone, Queen. Queen, I do respect it. Do y'all have them on your phones?
Like I said, it's our topic. Let's continue with it next week. We just do what we can, and then she'll do the bulk of it next week when she finally get on.
I just wanted to touch it a little bit as to
Yeah.
the
Well, there's a decision that was made by the Supreme Court on affirmative action,
yeah, yeah,
and we looked at it and we said, now, is this mental health or is this racism? Because this law was in effect many years ago to protect the right of people, not just people but black people. You know what I mean? So if they're gonna change decision, they have many decisions. They have it with abortion, they have it with, but this is civil rights we're dealing with, and people's right.
yeah,
And for the first time, I heard Biden was against it. That he um, he was talking about it, and that he's against that affirmative action decision that was made. Anyone have anything else on it?
yeah. I know she was talking on the. We were we were speaking on the um civil the affirmative action being overturned. But what Mama Acid was trying to piece it together with is mental health, where she was using it that um, with PTSD, she was trying to say a lot of these things are caused
Mm-hmm.
by PTSD. The young lady that must have they arrested a little sick. I don't even know how true that could be.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I was trying to look the articles that she had sent to us.
Yes, sir.
Where she
And
put
even the extravation of HIV she was hitting on, and
that, but I don't think everything should be blamed on PTSD. You have some people, like I said to her, is just wicked, and that was my same stance that I took last week. Is that
mm,
you have just some people that is wicked. The respecter, you wanted to elaborate on that one because we were talking about it earlier.
No, you're absolutely right. You're
mm,
right. People are just wicked, It's nothing going to change that. They're born that way. Some people are raised that way, and it's not going to stop until something stops them.
Hmm. Hmm.
Plain and simple.
Yeah, like how could you starving a kid? That's not. I don't think that has anything to do with PTSD. That's just damn. That's just wicked. You know
Yeah,
what
it
I
is.
mean? You sitting there eating in front. You just wicked. You just wicked. I think that PTSD thing is being used too loosely. You know, everyone is. I mean, sooner or later, the whole world is dysfunctional. And then when you come in on top of it with statistics that are saying that because you get a spanking, they're even saying that
mm-hmm.
spanking children, article that spanking children, yelling at children, all of these things cause PTSD.
It changes their
So,
IQ. It lowers their IQ.
yeah. So I mean, like the entire world is PTSD. Then that's
Well,
about the new norm.
and that's what I was saying. I was saying, now, how can they come up with this? What's the study? Who they studied? Because I know the Caribbean kids, they get beaten like no one else.
And
And
not every
now, if you go into big companies and the hospitals, they're head of departments and what have you. So even the Africans, they get a lot of beating more than us,
oh,
and they excel to the max. I mean, they're in high position engineering, mathematicians. I mean, so where did they get that study? I couldn't understand it.
Well,
yeah,
that this is my belief because of what I've seen and heard over the years. Africans, mainly Nigerians, are a bigger target to those who don't think that black people should be smart and have a degree and all those things that they have. And the fight been on for a long, long, long time, and that's why I have always been a skeptic of vaccine, anything that medical people prescribe, want us to take. I even look at when a baby is born. A black baby do not get the same treatment that the white baby gets. Even though the blood is red, you know, it's a different thing that the black people get than the white people get. That's why the difference is between black and white growing up. And I don't see how that's gonna change it. Like I keep saying, God don't change it because we can't change it. If we speak too much on what science really is doing to this world, to us, it's our danger for us. But that's just facts. Science. Those who are called scientists is taking orders from somebody who has a lot of money, power to manipulate life. And everybody is planning and planning and plotting except for us. We are not planning nothing to benefit us. We're just living. Those who have the money and who are called black men and women, business, entertainment, sports, they are not planning nothing. They're not coming together planning how to own a football team, a baseball team. None of that stuff. They're just living. So it's always going to be where the white folks do whatever they want to do. The Chinese folks do whatever they want to do to black folks. Black people are only talking. They're sitting on their money and not thinking about bringing up a poor neighborhood, poor community. They're not thinking about none of those things. White folks and Chinese, other races are constantly planning of how to celebrate their people because they see that our people are not planning nothing. We talk about it, but it's not happening. Not saying me and you, but the majority who are not thinking of family, thinking of the children, that when I make $500, $1,000, it is for the family. It's not I'm taking $200 to go play. And no matter how senior a person gets older in life, they're not changing from their ways to say, my son, my daughter, my grand. They're just thinking of self and doing what pleasures them. So it's very hard, ladies.
Yeah.
It's very hard.
We we
What's
we
going on right now?
we do have Mama Acid on the line. She had called in on the telephone and calling the telephone line. So she's not on the YouTube, but she's on the telephone line. Mama Acid, we were just touching. We've already went past. We've reasoned already on the topic of no justice, no peace, and we were on the topic of is racism a mental health disorder?
Can I
So
touch that?
yeah,
Yeah.
no, that was your baby. So
We've been waiting on you.
yeah,
Bless your heart. AT&T is trying to sabotage us because they shut down my internet, but they didn't really do it. We have a cable that got cut in the area, so everybody who has AT&T now doesn't have any network or TV.
oh Lord,
We
There
know
are
that
a lot of stuff we happening.
across the country, but that also goes into our topic. Have you ever wondered why these things don't happen in the suburbs like they happen in the already pre-established inner city, where we've had old neighborhoods that have old infrastructure that hasn't been upgraded, but they keep charging us more, but they don't upgrade the infrastructure and they don't provide us with the same type of service that's given to people in other neighborhoods. Now, why is that an issue? Well, it's an issue for a couple reasons. One, when there was a pandemic recently, we saw where people didn't have proper internet coverage in order for their kids to be able to do their schoolwork, but it was expected that they would have to do their schoolwork electronically, but nobody bothered to check and see if they would have the means to be able to do it electronically. So that to me sounds like a symptom of systemic racism. Now, they would say it's a mental health issue when people don't prioritize having Wi-Fi in their house. Well, what about people that have Obama phones? You have limited minutes and you choose between internet access and getting text messages. That is not a helpful system. And anyone who thinks it is obviously has never had to live without Wi Fi. I've lived without Wi Fi. I didn't like it. I really don't like it. It means that tomorrow I have to pack up my laptop and I have to go someplace and be around other people in order to be able to do some of the things that I need to do because I can't do them with no Wi Fi. Where do I have to go? I have to go into an area that is predominantly not minorities.
Mhm.
So when I go there, the first thing I got to deal with is the fact that I got to spend money in order to be able to access the internet when I'm already paying for the internet at my house. And that right there is another whole issue too, because we pay more for internet in the inner city where we don't have a choice in who the provider is. When one company has wired the entire city or state, that means that there's no choice.
My building.
They decided that they would set up committees to decide to approve who could and could not control the market because they saw what happened in markets that are major, like major cities like Detroit, Atlanta, Philadelphia, New York. When you have one provider who basically controls the entire market. Not only do they control all the prices, they control the quality of service and the delivery of whatever the people in that market will be able to access. If you live on 8 Mile Road, on one side of 8 Mile Road, you get 500 channels, almost. It's not really 500. I think it's about like 300 channels plus high-speed internet, and it includes repairs, and it includes some special things like you get HBO Max or some other stuff like that. And guess what? Those people get a free cell phone, and it only costs them $40 a month. I live on the other side of 8 Mile, and it costs me $50 a month with a discount for high-speed internet only. Why is that? I asked. I went to a community meeting, and I asked a question, and I was told by one of the commissioners, which really sticks in my mind because I need to always remember this: where you live and your interactions with your politicians matters because it provides you with access. That word, access, okay? When I start talking about was mental illness and racism a linked disorder earlier, that was because I was thinking about some of the things that keep occurring in this country. One was about affirmative action today. Another one, I happened to send a picture to my co-host with a little young alabaster baby and the alabaster baby's mama, I guess, sitting this little child on the grass in front of an AR-15, two, not one, but two assault rifles up on feet. So they are in the combat position. The baby can't sit up for herself. She's holding the baby up, but she's holding the baby up while the baby is playing with the AR-15. Now, I don't know any black people that I've seen in any pictures that have done this. And I did try and search earlier to see. I didn't find any. I don't know of any people who would do that because, quite frankly, all of the black people I know don't want their kids around their guns because they just can't deal with what's going on. You know, the murder in black communities is endemic. We tend to believe that it's because the community is more dangerous. No, it's not. It's because we have been labeled more dangerous because of the type of interactions that we have with the labelers. Let me make that clear, okay? It's the people who put the labels out there who are physically creating these emotional situations and conditions that we have to live under. Because you all probably talked about this earlier about the no justice, no peace with the police brutality. And I'm sorry I wasn't here for that because I wanted to throw in about the situation of the 5 black men in Mississippi who were physically and sexually assaulted by 5 white Mississippi State patrolmen who have all been fired. Now, that is something right there that I'm sure you can notice the change in the tone of my voice and my feelings are obvious. If we continue to empower racism as policing in America and our communities, we will continue to empower racism to continue unchecked as a mental health disorder. I don't want a pedophile policing in my community. I also don't want someone who is violent policing in my community. But the problem is that we don't set the standards for who is hired to police our communities. Other communities do. Other communities come and say, no, this person cannot be on our streets because they are dangerous. We need to start examining why Cop City really got approved. Last week, I did something that no one would expect me to do. And I want to say this so everyone can hear me. And I hope all my people in Atlanta are listening because you probably would not have expected this. But I want you all to know that Keisha has hit bottom. Keisha Lance Bottom has hit bottom because when she was in Atlanta in the airport waiting to get on a flight, and she has mileage and she's trying to get in first class, she wanted to go into the lounge. And one of the flight attendants told her, no, we don't have any space for you in the first class lounge. And she said she couldn't understand why. When she saw empty seats, she felt she was being discriminated against. Well, guess what? I replied directly to her and said, guess what, Keisha? People at the airport said they don't want Cop City either. So you should leave them alone. She blocked me. So I know she saw it.
Sharon
So for
makes
those who don't know, this is going on right now, and we all need to do something about it.
Sharon says the man that choked the young man to Queen, the man that
Yeah.
choked the young man to death on the train is
Mm.
claiming self-defense, and his lawyer says it's because of PTSD. No, he should have let go when the young man passed out, and this man wanted to kill that young man. And that
Wow.
is,
Okay,
and that is,
Lady
and
D,
that is,
PTSD.
and that is my sentiment exactly. It is not
PTSD
It is
and this
not
and that
PTSD.
anxiety.
It is not PTSD. It's a wicked man who did not like a black man and wanted to kill him. It's as simple as
Okay,
that.
but Lady D,
It's not.
Lady
I mean,
D,
like, so everyone in the world, including myself, is walking around with PTSD. That is the
nope,
problem.
not everyone.
But
Not
that is the
everyone.
problem
White
because
people don't have it.
why?
White people don't
Why?
have it
Why? Why? Why
because
don't they
they
have it?
make the rules. That's why they don't have it. Because they are the ones who decide what is systemic racism and pull all the covers off of
But
it. That's
PTSD is
what we
not
need to
just.
do.
But PTSD is not just systematic, systemic racism. That is
PTSD.
PTSD. It happens when individuals have certain reactions of witnessing or experiencing a shocking or traumatic event. That is what it
Lady
states
D,
here. That's the definition that is
Lady
given
D,
here. Yeah.
do
And
you
I
realize that
and
these children get PTSD in school when they are told by their teachers, that's not how you speak, that's not correct, that's so
well, you
ghetto?
know what?
Anytime these
We
children
all are
experience
walking
these
around.
microaggressions,
We all are walking
that's a
around
direct
with.
assault.
So you know what? I'm just not going to accept that because you're
That's a
saying
direct
that
assault. That's a
every
direct
single
assault.
that's mean every single kid in this world is walking around with PTSD because of the fact that
No,
they
the
are
white ones
told
don't
that.
get it because their teachers don't talk to them that way. The white ones do not
But
get it because their teachers don't address them that way. Now, you know what?
I
I can speak
refuse.
on this.
Would refuse to say, and this is why I spoke. This is why I said earlier that this is not a conversation that needs to be held by us without a psychiatrist or somebody
I
who
think
deals
statistics
in
can
this
speak for
field.
themselves, Lady
But
D.
but but the way you're turning statistic is not right. You're going to say the entire world basically has PTSD.
Lady
And
D,
then
let
you're
me
going
give
to
you an
say,
example of
then you're
something
going
that
to
happened
come,
last night
then
in
you're going to
Paris.
come. Wait a minute, let me complete my thought. Then you're going to come and you're going to say white people cannot have PTSD. But they do. They do. So
but if it's a behavioral problem, then
yes,
all walks of life experience that, not just black or white or
to say
Chinese. Everybody experience it if that's what it is. If it's based off of that, your experience, your exposure. They might say, look at those children in Uganda that was in that war, and they saw some gruesome things happen then and there. What happened to those children? So
time,
if
my problem.
and some of them turn out to be killers. So are we saying because of what they were exposed to? Even in Jamaica, what's going on now? Is that what we're saying because of it that was developed?
Yeah, It happened to them and it stuck in their minds. And unfortunately, that illness that they're experiencing is documented. I spent a bunch of time this past week trying to figure out if I was imagining some things that were happening. And so I started calling other people and asking them. Then the other thing I did was I checked for some statistics on certain things. And I found for myself the statistics were not difficult to find. One of the statistics is that the one of the biggest ones that we've been talking that we haven't talked about is maternal health statistics of black women versus white women. Why is it that someone like Tori Bowie would die? Would die in childbirth, and she is an athlete and an Olympic winning athlete.
Certain
she
things
died because she bled to death because they cut one of the arteries when they were delivering her baby, and they didn't even pay attention to it, and they let her bleed to death. And she should never have had anything other than a doula deliver her baby. And so that's why right now I'm saying black women, get you a midwife. Stay away from these hospitals if you want to bring your baby home.
Well,
it's not a myth.
I've had mine in the hospital. My daughter has hers in the hospital, and they came home just fine. And all of my
I'm
children
happy
are
for you.
adults now, and my grandbaby, and all how many I have 6 grandbabies, and they all are fine, and they have all was birthed in the hospital. We need to
I am
stop this.
happy for
We
you.
need to stop this.
This Spectre, we're not hearing you.
We need to stop this. We need to
I
stop
really
this
do.
scare
I wish
tactic.
it could be the same for every black woman.
And exactly, it's not going. My is sometimes my experience is not your experience. My outcomes is not like your outcomes. And when it becomes that all we're doing is generalizing it and making it into like it's that is just the statistics. That's where I have a problem with. We have the good, we have the bad, we have the indifference in every single
let's take
thing.
a personal case.
In every single
let's
thing.
take a personal case. I remember when you all were potty training one of the babies, right? Y'all were potty training the baby. Y'all were working on it all together. The baby got potty trained in
But I
like
would
regular time.
you can use my personal information. I'm giving you permission now, but next time ask my permission before my personal business.
Fine. Okay, I will.
On the
now,
air.
This
Thank
particular case that I'm talking about is 2 police officers in Florida. He was a lieutenant and he was a sergeant. They were having problems potty training their child, a 3-year-old child. They took the child to the police station and locked the child up in jail because they couldn't handle being potty trained. You take your child to jail for potty training.
So that is PTSD
but that
of
wasn't
the parent.
The first time they did it. They took the other one to jail because they didn't like his attitude.
Is that PTSD for the parent? Is the parent suffering from PTSD that they did that? And is the police officers? Is the police officers also? Okay, well, that is because there was an act that was done to them, and then sometimes the same individuals that had certain acts that was done to them,
they imitates, yeah.
They can also turn out to be wonderful adults.
Yeah.
So not because something necessarily happened. A lot has happened in my life, but I don't walk around about PTSD and I'm going to kill people, I'm going to hurt people, and I'm going to do all of this atrocities to people. I think everyone is their own individual self, and then is their mentality, their capacity. You know, for me, that's my thought on it. I don't like it to be generalized and to be said, okay, the way it sounds is as if everybody in the world has PTSD because someone had screamed at them, because someone told them that they're less of, because someone told them no. I just don't believe that the entire world has PTSD. I just really don't. But
okay, let me give you an example of what racism
one moment before the example. The Respecta, did you have something to say in regards to this? Oh my goodness, the Respecta got cut off. Here he goes. He's been calling. The Respecta, I'm not sure if you heard most of the conversation, but did you have anything to put into this in regards before we move on, because it's 9:21? So we're gonna, and we have two more topics of discussion, and we have to open the lines in another 20 minutes. So, did you have anything to say in regards to the racism and mental health disorder PTSD?
Yes. Quickly. Mental health is being mixed up with ignorance and racism now that it's concerned. It takes a lot for a person to become mentally sick, and it's what they go through from hearing, negative comments and statements. You're not actually with this. At least to mental health.
You breaking up.
So it is, for me, it's just like you have to be very careful what you listen to, what you hang with, what you believe in all this. It can lead, mental health is going to push you into suicide or crime, violence. It's going to shut you down in a negative way. But as far as what a lot of people are doing with concept mental, that they want to beat the case, they want to bring forth, instead of the pure hatred and wickedness, kill somebody, turn you into a baby. That's just wickedness.
That's just wickedness. Okay, exactly. And that's stupidity to sit there. And that's not even stupidity. That's what they're used to. And that's what they were brought up doing, is learning how to work these guns, and teaching their children from their young age on how to shoot all of these guns and to kill people. That's, and we need to take up those practices of teaching our children how to arm themselves and shoot proper and shoot direct. But the atrocity of the entire racism, and where I wanted to get real quick, just real briefly on this, is the affirmative action in in the Supreme Court has been struck down. And that's and it's a sad thing, because it stops so much college admissions.
Mhm.
It's going to be hard for minority people now to get into places such as Harvard, whom there had to be a certain amount of blacks be let in and things like that.
Mhm.
um and it's sad that a lot of the opportunities that melanated skinned persons, or even just immigrants, in general, had the option before, they're not going to have that. And I'm wondering, where is this Supreme Court going? In
Mhm.
regards to a lot of what they're doing, shutting down the Roe versus Wade, coming now
Mhm.
with shooting down this affirmative action.
Mhm.
Like, what kind of message are they really sending to minority folks, the minorities?
Yeah.
And it is something to really think about, um, when we were able to get into a lot of these Ivy League colleges due to this affirmative action, and now what is going to take place. So it's interesting to watch, to see what is going to happen, and how much are we as melanated people is going to take it lying down. What can we do to make a change? And I can't even believe some of these justice of the peace, such as even Justice Clarence Thomas, to vote, against it, although he's always had called for it for quite some time. But this is real drastic. I think what is going on, Sonia Sotomayor, what is going on in the Supreme Court is like, it's mind boggling. And I don't even know why these cases are being brought back up. Well, I do, because people such as the Chinese guy who couldn't get into some Ivy League school and challenged, because there was a black person or whomever was going to get that seat, and brought this challenge and brought it to the Supreme Court. And this is the outcome of it. You
Look, they gotta create these job. You see all these job titles they have out there. They have to create work for these job titles. So therefore, they come up with all kind of crap. They, even if they have to rehash a certain case, they rehash it because they're getting paid.
Yeah,
Okay. Uh
exactly.
huh. and a lot of governmental agencies, that's what's going on in there. The corruption is terrible because they create things so that they can get paid and they can keep their jobs or their titles.
Okay, we're gonna move on to Mama Acid's favorite girl, Babsy Grange, in Jamaica political bingo, and then we're gonna touch aliens. So really, we're just gonna touch Babsy Grange real lights and the aliens, and then we're gonna open the lines to our listeners. Go ahead, Acid with Babsy Grange.
Wexy was going to make one statement before that.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to ask you if you noticed what happened last night in France and what happened 2 nights before that in France.
No, I'm not privy to that.
Okay, did you pay any attention to the, last week we talked about the submarine that sank. Did you happen to pay
Mhm.
attention to about the 700 people who were on the Greek ferry or about the 350 people who were on the ferry in the Canary Islands that sank?
Yes, that perished. Yes, they must have found like something about 100 persons. Yeah, I heard about that.
Okay, now these people that were on the ferry in the Canary Islands, okay, these people were coming from Lampedusa and they were actually in Italy already on the island of Lampedusa, and they were trying to travel further into Italy because they were migrant workers and they had been there for a while. In case people don't know, there's a history of the European Coast Guard preventing people from landing on European soil by taking their Coast Guard vehicles, their boats, and actually bumping into the vehicles or vessels that these migrants are on and sinking them or causing them to get so overwhelmed with water that they sink. So people took video of it and they started asking, questions about why these things keep happening. And some more people started coming forward with some more videos.
Real brief,
So
real brief.
at this point, there's probably 50 or so videos that I've seen posted on Twitter, which are quite disturbing, of these European vessels killing people, literally, because they want their crops to die. But what this all goes back to is the fact that we have governors in the United States like DeSantis who are illegally transporting people around the country and letting the crops in their own fields die. Why? Xenophobia, racism, bigotry. Call it what you want. America is losing $13 billion per year on this type of nonsense. It's systemic racism. It's being caused by people that were voting people in, and so no one can convince me that these people didn't vote these people in of their own free will because they wanted them to be their so-called leaders. But they didn't expect the things that happened to happen because now they're starting to stand back and say, oh, we didn't know that orange juice was going to end up costing $11 a gallon because we didn't have the Guatemalans and the Mexicans to come down here and pick these oranges. They're going bad in the field. So who's going to do something about this? Ron DeSantis is in Iowa campaigning for president instead of managing his state. Why? Because he doesn't want to manage Florida. He wants to manage the entire United States. So until people start seeing this white supremacy in government as a problem, it will continue to proliferate, which is why Alito and Clarence Thomas voted together to end affirmative action. The only people who dissented were people of color, 2 women. Okay? And those women dissented because they understood exactly what affirmative action was about. They were the only 2. So that tells me right there that we got some problems in high places. And until we start voting to fix these problems, we won't fix them. We will continue to be victimized by them, and we'll still continue to see them repeat over and over. This is
Okay.
the same
Acid,
scenario that's going on in Jamaica.
the respecter, you was gonna say something real quick, and then we do have to move on.
Yeah,
We do have to move on.
yeah. I'm gonna say, so Floridian ones who wanted descent, they got what they wanted, they got what they deserved, and I believe those who are under God's umbrella have nothing to worry about.
Okay. Now, if you all want to continue on this topic, then we need to eliminate the Babsy Grange topic. Do you want to You want to go on that for another 5 minutes, and then we're going to skip on over to seeing aliens?
But you all wanted to hear about Betsy Green. I'm
Well,
just
that's
gonna
well,
say a
I well,
couple
I'm well,
names
I
and then
keep
I'm gonna
saying
move
that we.
on.
It's alleged they calling her the minister of negligence, and that the demolition man, he was the teacher for her. Oh,
Are we talking about Keisha Miller?
that is alleged. Hmm.
Oh, I wasn't supposed to say Portia either, right? Portia.
Ah,
I don't know. You can say whatever you want. You can say
Why is
whatever
she
you
doing
want.
this? Queenie, why is she doing this?
I don't know. 'Cause lately I can't read any of them. They're so undercover and mysterious. I mean, hmm,
Mhm.
I'll just be giving my opinion, and
Exactly.
right now,
Exactly are they saying about what is exactly are you trying to bring forth to the listeners in like 3 minutes, Acid, so we can move on in regards to Babsy Grains and the Jamaica political bingo.
mm,
She always starts stuff, right? She starts it because she wants to be known as being a mover and a shaker. But when it comes time to really put some action in, she's not there. She's in the dance
that's,
off.
mm,
There's
mhm,
more sessions in Parliament than any other member. I did get a chance to look that up.
You mean like real dance hall scenes, like the shows and stuff like that, right? That's what you mean?
mhm.
Kind of, yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. Well, I
So
heard
if we got
Andre
a
was
minister of
blasting
dance
her.
hall,
I heard
do
Andre.
we have a minister of dance hall now?
Well, she's supposed to be of
She's
entertainment.
everything there.
I guess that's included in.
Minister of Cultural Affair, and dancehall is considered a cultural affair.
Okay.
Okay, so cultural affairs, what does that actually encompass? That's what we need to understand about her job.
Well, what does it encompass? Do you know? To let us
But
know.
you know that she's in different roles, though, right? She plays different roles. I mean, eh.
But when we say cultural affairs, what exactly does that mean in terms of her position? Because if that was the case, if it was about cultural affairs, wouldn't she be more actively involved in all these things that are happening in these schools with these kids and things that need to happen for communities? And actually, wouldn't she be more of the center of good things?
Well, it sounds like and even with me watching Andre's show the other day and listening to him, it's like he knows that she's a real gangster because I've always heard that
Mhm.
it's alleged that she is a real gangster, and he made a comment that if any, and when he was talking there, he said if anything happened to me, I know that everyone don't know it's you, because and I mean like people know that it's alleged she's a big gangster, So
It's time for dance.
go
It's
ahead,
time for
Respecter.
dancehall to become. It's time for dancehall to get erased because it's all violence and slackness.
No, not all dance
I
hall.
are
Not all
we
dance
I
hall
think we
say
discussed
the
that last
violent
week.
dance hall because there's different types of dance hall.
I think we
Because
discussed that last
foundation
week.
dance hall is not all always about that.
But I think we discussed that last week, and all of dancehall is not bad. With the Respecter, you sound like one of them old man there. I try to
No,
bash
no, that
things.
man.
You don't remember say
The
you don't
youth them
remember when
believe.
you used to go dance. You don't remember
But
when you
I'm just
used to go
saying right now,
dance.
not I'm just saying right now, the young people who are coming up in the music
Okay,
and they're
okay.
going in the dance style and they believe that's the only way to pop, pop, pop. And the, you know, it's the
Well, maybe.
ignorance of it.
Well, maybe now.
Okay,
Well, maybe
okay,
now.
but wait. You went too far, Lady D. Let me go back and get him back up in this dance hall. Now, you gave us this video a couple weeks ago that we loved, and we saw in the video that some man came to you and was asking you to make a phone call for him. And then when he made the phone call, the man all of a sudden was being happy because he had a selection of women. Now, recently we found a story about what is really going on in the world about all these people in that age group, and we found out that it's two age groups that are now the biggest groups of people infected with HIV and AIDS. Okay? That's the 20 to 30 age group and the 50 to 70 age group. So since it included my age group, I had to check it out. And I want to ask, this question is very serious, even though I sound crazy, the respecter. I know in that video you are not promoting anything negative. So I'm just curious about your feelings about what these dancehall people are doing and not taking care of themselves in terms of the health hazards that are being spread in the dancehall, and why BABSY is
Well,
not concerned about it.
this one wasn't dressed nudish. One was and one wasn't. Was basically demonstrating that you're in the club and you're dancing, showing off yourself. At the end of the night, you got no money to show up for it. The kids are hungry, bills to pay. So if you want to do that, why not do it to make them and make some money doing it? And one wants to do it in clothes, and one wants to do it without clothes. So it's a choice between the two. One, you can do dance and make money in your clothes, and you can also do it without your clothes. So now a lot of dancers in real life, even strippers, they're not hooking up with men and having sex, believe it or not. If they are, they're using protection. And that's just in the defense of them. So it's not that I think the most reckless people in the world right now are who are so foolish in their old age that they don't use protection. And that's where the situation, the problem is. Some young people, mostly married people.
But that rolls back into the pedophilia too, doesn't it? Because they want the little girls because they think the little girls are safe.
Exactly. They don't want the age group.
Boy, that's sad.
So why is Betsy Grange not directing her attention to this since she's the one who everybody listens to? Shouldn't she be saying we need to clean up and bag up? We need to clean up and bag up the dance hall.
And she's listening to other people advising her on what to do and what to say. She's not that smart. She's listening to somebody else who's going to benefit more than she will. In politics, there's always someone just sitting down, dictating, giving orders.
I don't understand why she's not more involved because it would seem to me if this is her venue and these different selectors are all people that she knows and she's involved with, that she would seem to me to be the perfect person to push a safer platform for everybody everywhere because that's what culture would be, right?
Let me tell you something. Ladies are done out grooving in the park. Ladies are since we get I'm gonna get us off of Babsy Grange and straight into the aliens. Right?
Well, okay. I mean, I get that, but I also watched Carly and Spice this past week on YouTube talking about who's friends and how friendship really works. Because you can spend all the money for somebody's party, but if that person doesn't appreciate what it is that you did for them, then how do you even sort out that type of a friendship, that type of a relationship?
I don't know. I don't know. You got to know your worth, and you got to know what you bring, what you're looking for in that friendship, and you have to make it known what you're looking for in that friendship. And if it's not, and it can't be, or don't want to be reciprocated, then you know that that's not the friendship for you.
I would think they would be doing a lot more filming in Jamaica in terms of like all these shows that love to show dance hall and they love to show Jamaica and they love to show exotic this and exotic that. If Betsy's really doing her job, I would see a lot more studio trucks down there. I would even see her in talks with people like Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry is now part owner of BET. So why is Babsy not expanding Jamaica's capabilities in terms of culture?
Why isn't dancehall reggae being respected? I saw where Kumar Gregory said that it was a disgrace for how they bungled all of the dancehall artists into a segment for to tribute somebody when Afrobeat was given their own 20 minutes performance. Why two genres
Oh yeah,
that are
Grammys. Yeah.
derivative from dancehall reggae, such as Afrobeat and such as rap? Why why are we looking like we're kissing ASS in order to get a chance to be on this BET awards thing?
Um,
Grammys, BET awards. And as he said, and I totally agree with him, they need to put some respect on reggae and dancehall. We don't get no respect.
Yes. Yes.
We don't get any respect whatsoever, because if we was, they would have give us our own platform and our stage. Give us a
Why
20
doesn't Jamaica
minutes.
establish its own reggae awards and start having it every
They
year?
had it. I don't know what happened to it. They used to have it here in Georgia.
What happened to it?
I don't know.
We could be doing.
Well, it sure is. Maybe we need to get together and start an awards. I wonder if it's real expensive to do that.
I can tell you that when I worked for Tony Johnson doing the first parts of Sunsplash, okay, because I worked for Tony for a couple years on the Sunsplash project, and I can tell you that it took a startup of about $5 million just for the sound system and the venue.
No, we're not
That's not
talking about
including anything else.
we're not talking about anything on Sunsplash on sus
I'm talking about in the beginning of Sunsplash. I'm talking way back before Sunsplash got
I'm
big.
talking something small in a small venue. We send out we vote, send out, have people to go online, because a lot of things are can be done online now versus when you all had to make everything back then as paper, on black and white paper, and then mailed out.
Yeah,
You
and
have
film
easier ways
everything.
to you have easier ways now to get to the masses, social media, things like that, and tell them to vote. Right now there's this cooking contest going on, so I mean, those are other ways that we can get the word out there. I just want to say big ups
Lady
to
D,
all
that's
of the
that's
listeners.
groundbreaking thinking. You should be pushing this across the board to all of them, and we should in fact send them all messages and ask Babsy herself. Babsy, do you want to see something to move Jamaica into a top spot, the
Yeah.
top 5 spot in the world? We can do it if we just work together. But Babsy has too many allegiances. She's like the GOP.
Do you
If she
think?
don't get paid first
Do you
and
think?
know who the goons are that are going to be picking up the purse,
Uh,
Betsy not going to become involved because she knows her life actually is going to be caught up in that. I think that's one of the reasons why she's busy accumulating all this real estate in America. And I know we weren't supposed to be talking about that, but you got to remember people are buying property everywhere with salaries that don't support the purchases. And I, for one, am tired of seeing and hearing it. And
okay.
I
Well,
want to see something done about it.
we'll talk about that next week. So, do we think that Babsy has a clone?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Aliens. Let's get to the aliens because I got something for
And the
that.
lines, and we're gonna kind of open the lines because we have 15 minutes to go. We have not even 15 full minutes to go. So it's 706-955-2001. if you want to just chime in on any of the topics that we touched today. No justice, no peace. Is racism a mental health disorder? BABSY Grains, Jamaica political bingo. What's going on with the on the scenes of Jamaica? And yeah, seeing aliens. So we kind of left off last week on the alien topic with then Donna was had called in, and it's 706-955-2001. um and when I got off the air, you know I had I don't know why it looks like it's only showing me X amount of my messages. I don't know why it is doing that. But I'm unable to get back to that message. I sent out a message to Mama Acid and Queen and the Respecta. Did they understand most of what Donna was saying? And I kind of come to the conclusion of saying that I think that I think we missed the call. I come to the conclusion where I'm feeling like you know what you're saying, and I totally believe that you know what you're saying. I feel that you're just not um presenting it so that we can understand what you're saying. You know what I mean in regards to the whole alien situation. And I think you have something to say, but how would I say it, ladies? You're not You're not putting it forward where we can totally understand what you're saying in regards to, because I got some calls and saying that you were saying something about there's a building or something that used to be in front of you and you walk by it every day and now the building is not there. So if something such as with the building not being was there and you saw it, everyone saw it, and now it's not there, are you the only one that has this question? Or did anyone else notice that it's not there? So give us a call,
I
Donna.
hope Donna's calling in. Call in,
Call or
Donna.
give us a call, 706-955-2001. Yeah, because if these are things that are happening, then why other people is not saying that there's reasons why something else is not being done? But once again, we're not discrediting that there are other life forms, you know, that we really feel that is on this earth because yeah, I do feel that. I feel that as well. So that there are other life forms here on this earth. Why is this thing not moving?
We got a guy from New York that contacted us by text on Tumblr and said that they have every alien in the world in New York. He said all the aliens are in New York. And then he sent a little joke at the end and said, and Eric Adams is buying them all bus tickets back to Texas.
Go ahead. Greetings, Donna. Greetings.
Yes,
Donna.
greetings. Hello, everyone. It's
Hey,
Donna. Yes. Hey,
Hello.
Donna.
Donna, the
How
Rasta
you doing?
Queen.
hey, Donna.
That's the queen on the scene.
Down
Yes.
to see.
So, okay, let me make it more clearer to
Yes.
everyone who's
Yes.
listening in. There was a satellite building. I sent you the article.
I have to look. I don't know.
I
Maybe
think that
it's in
I
my.
sent the article to Lady D. Yeah, I did. Okay, so that building was established maybe like in the early 80s, maybe like say around 83 or something like that. And it was up the block, a few blocks away from where I reside at. So it was on Fountain and Flatlands, and I live on Fountain and Linden. Okay, so I was contacted because they were trying to reach me in regards to my stolen identification, wherein that they couldn't reach me. So they had to do it another way to get in contact with me to let me know that they hacked into the system and they stole my information. Okay, so let me make it clear. Every day I would drive when I picked my daughter up from school. I would take that particular route because it's pretty much traffic free. Okay, so during that like rush hour time, Linden Boulevard is all packed up, so I would always pass on Fountain and Flatlands. Okay, so I noticed that the building disappeared into thin air. Okay, there was no construction. There was nothing on the news. And even if it was a fire or something and say I would have missed it, which I didn't, it couldn't have done that particular damage, that particular demolition of that development. It could have never just disappeared like that. So we all know satellites communicate with space, and all of these things are space related. Okay. I remember when I attended junior high school up the block from my house, they had told us to do a homework assignment to look for Mars. Okay. So when I went back to school the next day and the teacher asked, did we look for Mars? And I just lied and said yes, because I don't have any interest in looking for Mars. But all of my classmates had appeared different. You looked like us and you sound like us. And everyone was like, yeah, they looked for Mars and they saw Mars and blah, 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 blah. Okay. So this is not something that is science fiction or anything like that. This is something that I have concrete proof of what I'm saying.
Have you ever
And the
taken a
thing is,
picture of the building? Have you ever taken a
yeah.
picture of the building and when it was there and now that it's
No, I
not
sent you
there?
the article. I'll send you the article again, and then you can post it or you can
Yeah,
review it or
yeah.
whatever. Yeah,
Please,
I'll send you the
please.
article again. The satellite building of Fountain and Flatland.
Send it to, as a matter
Okay.
of fact, send it to dapowerhouseradio@gmail.com. Because
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
sure
yeah.
where
I
you sent
will.
it.
I mean,
Because I don't,
I have these things posted, and I let them know, exactly what's up. Because okay, what is your definition of the New World Order?
I don't really have a definition of the New World Order. Do anyone else? Do anyone have a definition of the New World Order?
Oh, I definitely do. It's the
Okay.
group of people who are planning their forward control of this planet
Mm-hmm.
through groups like the
Okay.
Club of Paris and the Davos group and all of these different multi-billion dollar little posses who don't like other people and who want to
Change the
devolve the
world.
population.
Change the world.
Oh,
Change the world as it
oh,
is. But
okay,
yeah.
so
Mhm.
all right. So, okay, you're pretty much on, on the right path because, okay, so what do you consider the gate? Do you know about the gateway experience or the gateway process? Do you, anybody have
No,
any
go ahead.
knowledge?
I want to hear about that.
Okay, so this building that disappeared, right, is right there by the Gateway Mall that they built in 2003. So the Gateway experience is mind programming, right? It's a hemi sync. Um, like it's different mechanics to to the gateway process. It's hypnosis. I think it's psychosis. I'm just going off of the best of my recollection, and I think they call it transcendental something or another, right? But if you research that, okay, you'll get a better insight of what I'm trying to explain in regards to everything that everyone's saying that I'm not being clear about. Okay, so if I'm gonna send you the newspaper article about the satellite building and
Okay.
when it was established. I'm gonna send you that. You're gonna overview that article, and then you're going to research the gateway experience, the gateway process. Okay, so everything, like even when the blackout took place, this is where everyone headed. All the news channels, all the newspaper papers, editors, and all sorts of everyone when the 2000 and New York City 2003 blackout occurred. Because this is supposed to be, that building was supposed to be some main building in regards to the electricity. Okay, the satellite building. So these are facts that I'm bringing to the table. Who is might be commenting, might be a part of the human the human simulation, this reality simulation that they're playing like they're rich in, and everyone wants to be rich, and you're spending all of this money and no one can give account, just like you were just speaking about how these people are buying up real estate and they can't give account to how they acquired the money to invest into these real estates and things like that. Well, that's pretty much what it is all about. It is it's fictional, okay? And everything is fictitious. The scientists who are performing this particular experiment does not want you to know that you're living in a reality simulation, because they're benefiting from it, they're profiting from it.
Is
So
the
this is like a TV
is this
show.
the
I mean, like a
Matrix?
movie.
Is this the Matrix? Are we living in the
Yeah,
Matrix where we have to
yes, it
become
is the
unplugged?
Matrix. It is the Matrix. So the thing is that we're you have are you thinking from your regular consciousness, or are you in your out of body consciousness? Because it's an out of body experimentation. So it's through sound. It's acoustical. That's why I keep on telling them it's acoustics, and that's what they use. It's sometimes you hear that sound, and you won't think anything of it, but
Someone
you'll be under a program, just like it's frequency.
someone
If I'm
text
talking to
in.
you, okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead. If you're talking to me, what?
No, if I'm speaking to you and you let off a frequency sound, my brain is gonna adapt to that frequency sound. So say the brain is at a beta, right? And that means being up, awake, aware, or whatever. And then you send a frequency of theta, which means sleep, right? My brain is gonna um like pretty much mimic that frequency. I might not feel it right away while I'm on the phone with you, but when I hang up the phone, my brain pretty much already adapted that frequency. You get what I'm saying? So
Okay.
this is a science
Okay,
that
we have like 1 minute to go, and the question that came in is how long and what gave you the what did
that
she
what gave me
write?
the one.
How long have you been okay? Basically, it's like she's saying, how long have you been interested in this alien topic, and why?
Okay, so I in '96, right? My father supposedly, okay, um, was in Mount Sinai Hospital. I got a call. They said his kidneys failed, which I didn't even know what happened. But anyway, the doctor said to me, I want to know what you're still doing awake when everyone else is sleeping. So I'm saying, when everyone else is sleeping, so then who are you? She said to me, I want to know what you eat. Okay. So those were her exact words to me. But if you're not a person then, and everyone else is sleeping. So pretty much you put the city that never sleeps to sleep. Okay? Where'd you get all of these photos from right then and there when 9/11 was just took place? These are questions that they avoid. They work their way around. Listen to other
So in
people's reasoning.
1996, your father's in the hospital, and a doctor or someone said to you while you're awake and everyone else is sleeping, could it not,
Yeah.
you know, what did you say, or what came about that? What was the
Well,
response
she
from the
just,
doctor?
well, she looked at me and she said, even your, she said, I want to know what you and your father eat. This is her exact words, because everyone else is asleep. You're the only, like, two, like, pretty much she's saying you're the only two human beings. They said no matter how much we sedate him, he's still coherent. And they want to know. That's the whole thing. They will say you're the
So
only. I'm the only one that they did not get.
so that
Okay.
made
Yeah.
you start to think about aliens?
Well, aliens, they are aliens. Whatever they're called, if it's aliens, they're from another planet that is not Earth. Okay, so we're gonna, we're gonna attach them to that, to the alien label. Okay, so the thing is that, come on, you're amongst us. What happened to this? Is something that, a person and I um figured this out a long time ago. Okay, so it was like, I went to the court, and a judicial official was like, wow, I don't even know where to send you to because your life is in danger. Okay, so I can't send you to, I wouldn't even let you go to the, I can't even advise you to go to the DA, because I was sending you to the DA, but I'm a, I fear for your life, I fear for your safety. Okay, I let it ride out somewhat, and then they tried to kill me in a car accident and so forth and so on, and da 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 da. So they've been trying to kill me. They shot the hell out of me. You shot me. Can you dispute that you're not shocking me? Okay, you're shocking the hell out of me. I live in a private house. All right, you invaded my private property. Okay, you changed everybody. That's not us. You had a funeral service for someone who's still alive and had family members appear. Those are not us. That's not us. But you do sound like us, and you do look like us. But who are these people?
So
Okay, so
this
that's.
it's 10:03. We're gonna have to end the show, but
Hmm.
next week I think we may see if we could pick you up even earlier, because one a question that uh,
Hello.
hello, yes,
Yeah.
a question that did come through is that, like, you're jumping, we're still not understanding, because they said that, if why are you awake, and they asked you about what y'all eating, how did it come so obsessive on it being, where did the alien part comes in, even if it's that we're plugged and not plugged, where did this alien part comes in?
The
But
alien
we're
part
gonna
is
have
coming because
to
who? Who
let
are you?
we're gonna have to
Who are you asking that? You're supposed to be a person, so why are you saying we're the only people who are still awake?
we're gonna go
Why are you?
we're gonna continue this
Because it's
next
true.
we're gonna
What's
continue it
what's
next
the
week.
name of my company? It
I
is called Universal Sample Card Company. Okay? Wow. I can go on and on and on. All right.
Okay.
So the thing is that you stole our identity. You have us plugged into this matrix under this programming, and you have, people have, pretty much adapted to your fictitious wealth, and really believes that, you acquired it, and no one knows the truth, because everybody who's a part of it is pretty much comfortable
Kim says
financially.
Kim says, have you watched The Matrix?
I No, I've never watched The Matrix, but
Okay.
I've seen clips in regards to The
To it.
Matrix.
Alrighty. We're gonna have to sign off. So Donna, we're gonna take you up back next week, because I see a lot of questions coming through. So we're gonna
Yeah,
pick
let
you
them
back up
let
next
them
week.
come through, and you just have them ready for me for next week, because
Yeah.
I want to know what I'm being as clear as possible. What is there not to understand? I'm
I don't
being
know.
clear as possible. Are you a part of what's going on? Are you benefiting from what's going on? Why you are finding it so mind boggling? I can't be any more clearer than I am.
Mm.
Okay, so when they come in with their topics or whatever, that's all I'm saying. I'm just letting you know it's something. It's a mind programming, and it's a spectrum. Okay, it's frequencies. It's brainwave frequencies. If you, like I said, send off a frequency to make me sleep, um, my brain is gonna mimic that sound. It's acoustic. Okay, so you do it's a journey through sound,
Okay.
right?
All
So
right.
right, so that's what
So
it is.
we
Okay.
we got we're gonna have to close off. Queen, you wanted to say anything real quick?
Well, everyone have a blessed night. Remember, like, share, subscribe. But remember, press that like button. And I'll see you next week. Same time, same place.
The respecter, the respecter. Okay, Mama Acid.
Well, I just want to say good night to everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Please join us next week. And we're definitely going to all be ready because Donna is bringing us into another whole dimension.
Whole dimension, because that's what I think I'm hearing. It's
What?
like it's two different worlds. It's
It
not
is.
it's not but we're gonna get into that next week because we've got to go. Just want to thank each and everyone listening to us via our telephone lines at 667-930-9036, listening to us via the TuneIn app, listening to us via Facebook or YouTube. We want to thank each and every one for vibesing through the victorious 89.1 FM radio as well. We want to say big shouts to you and thank you for continuing to carry us on the terrestrial radio. We just want to say big ups to each and every one. Big ups to our hosts. And be sure to join us. Be sure to join me for the Lady D show this Saturday, 12 to 4 p.m. It's cancer season, so we want to say blessed earth strong to all of the cancers. And I know the 4th of July, Independence, American Independence, is going to be before we come back on next week. So we want to say Happy Independence Day, 4th of July, when it comes to each and every one that does celebrate. And we once again want you all to tell a friend, colleague, or a family member to listen to Reasoning Thursdays every Thursdays from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. with Lady D, Mama Acid, Queen, Darespecta. And if you have a reason and topic that you want us to discuss, send it over to DA Powerhouse Radio at gmail.com. That's DA Powerhouse Radio at gmail.com. And also go to our YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, share, press the notification button, invite your friends and your family and colleagues once again. Come on, support us. We need those numbers to start climbing up on that YouTube channel. So we ask you all to please share and like and go on over there and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Want to say blessings to you, blessings to Donna. Thank you so much for joining us, Donna. And yeah, Mama said we're looking forward to jiving with to reasoning with you next week Thursday, and then hearing more about this next dimension where we
Yes.
think that you're trying to take us. Do we want to go? Do we want to go? Do we want to go? I don't know if we want to go. I don't know if we want to go. But blessings. And we'll leave out with
That's
the respecter. Bless them, bless them, bless them. Blessings.
bless them, single mothers, and I knew them, I see. Bless them, single mothers, and I knew them. To our mother, who's a mother and a father, Mr. Logo. We giving a love and honor to our mother, who's a mother and a father, Mr. Logo. We giving a love and honor is that the man plant the seed. The woman she a breed. The woman and who say one turn round and a feed. The man plant the seed, now the woman she a breed. The woman and who say one turn round and a feed. Me